Welcome to the Firebelly Social Show. We're focused on talking to food and beverage brands that are on a mission to make the world better.
Hey, everyone. Duncan here with another episode of my favorite thing to do, the Firebelly Social Show, where I chat with founders and leaders of mission-driven food and beverage brands. Before we jump in, I gotta warn you, this might be a very fun one because it was one of my favorite people in CPG, and today's conversation is not for the faint of heart. We're talking about
Hey,
hey, we're talking about what it takes to really grow in CPG right now, and what's broken, what's working, and what most brands don't want to admit. And who else to do that with but David Mesa, second time returnee to the show, founder of We Grow CPG, one of the coolest people. And of course, I got to give a huge shout out before we start to Firebelly Marketing. We help food and beverage brands turn storytelling into familiarity, into actual velocity. Because if your product isn't moving off the shelf, baby, nothing matters. So if you're ready to get some of that velocity, head over to firebellymarketing.com. All right, we got David Mason.
hey,
What's up, David?
let's go.
And this is one of those conversations where we're not going to stay surface, okay? We didn't do it last time. We're not going to do it again. David, you run We Grow CPG. You're in the trenches every day. I've met many of your people. You got lots of very smart people there. You're working with some amazing brands who are trying to scale, trying to survive. And the truth is, man, it's not easy right now, right? Costs are up. Competition is insane. Retailers expect more. Consumers are distracted. And there's this gap that we keep seeing where brands keep getting so excited that they got on shelf and they're oftentimes not even prepared for what's happening next. And because you told me, you're one of the first people to tell me getting on the shelf is not the win, and it's velocity. So let's jump into it, man. What's the reality with you? What's changed since the last time we talked with We Grow CPG?
Oh man, we're doing a bunch of fun things. We have some really great brands, really like tightening up our circle of brands. You know, we only work with one brand per category and we want to keep it small. So it's just like really tightening up that group, you know. We want to be that when the retailer sees an email coming through from WeGrow about a new item, we want to be that email that they don't want to miss, you know.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so like we got a lot of validation out of Expo West this year, a lot of recommendations from retailers. We actually had that same comment come through from a retailer. They're like, "Hey, when we see a WeGrow email come through, like she's like, I open it, like I don't want to miss something that they have, you know." And so I feel like for us, you know, the last, you know, 3 to 4 years, we've just been like heads down, just working on our brands, doing everything we can to really grow them and build our reputation. And it's like we're finally seeing like the fruits of our labor, at least on the reputation side. With our brands and growing brands, we've been doing great. We got a really good team in place. We feel really solid about the foundation of our company. Again, not growing too fast. And we don't need to because, you know, we're working with such a few amount of brands, but we also have some other stuff in the works right now that we're working on to automate all of our data entry. So we do a lot of data analytics for our brands. We're like constantly looking at data to see if, you know, a program or a promotion that we ran like is moving the needle. And so we're looking at that data often, and it takes up quite a bit of time. So we're having someone work on automating that into a system for us. And man, it's feeling really good to be able to, if we're able to put that time from the data entry into selling more, man, you know, like we're crushing it already, or you know, my team's crushing it. Like I'm the straggler, you know, like everybody on my team's better than me. I'm just like, man, they're so good. So like if we could put some more of that time, it's just so beneficial for our brands, you know. So
And one of the
yeah.
things I've always been impressed about you is that you really get in the trenches with your brands. You know, you're a true partner to your brands. You're invested in those brands. You know, it's not just like what we hear with a lot of people where it's like, hey, you know, we'll touch base with you next month, right? It's like y'all are in there, y'all are talking on a regular basis, y'all are in it to win it.
Yeah. I mean, if our brands knew honestly like how much we met about their brand each week, they would be like, wow, like this is, you guys meet on our brand more than we meet on our brand. Like we treat it like it's our brand. We treat all of our brands, it's like it's our brand. Everybody on our team has worked for brands our whole career. So we understand like that pressure, meeting P&L, like budgets, all those things. We understand that. So we're constantly working on strategy internally to like, okay, what can we do to move the needle? Like, is this working? Is it not working? Like, did we put together enough trade spend? Is our packaging capturing the consumer's eyes? Like, are we on the right shelf? Is this the right retailer? Those are a lot of things that some other folks in the industry may just not understand coming from different sides of the business, but being on the brand side, those are things that you have to think about every day where you have KPIs and whatnot that you need to hit. And so and we love our brands. We're people first, Duncan. I've told you that.
Yes.
You and I think like that's like one of the things that really connects us is like we're people.
Yes.
And for us, like we've all decided that, hey, we want to help great people. We want to make money for great people. And so when we're, working on it and talking and discussing strategy, we're thinking about it from their lens. Like, okay, we don't want to spend too much. We want to make sure we can hit this without that spend. We want to advise on, like, hey, if we save spend here, can we use it over here or something like that? Can we get Firebelly? Like, how do we, like, what is going to move the needle for us? So,
And if
yeah.
if I'm on the money, this holistic approach isn't what people always get with their sales partner and sales strategist and people that are helping them to expand. They may be getting on the shelf, but they're not getting that sales strategy and execution. You're doing financial analysis, you're looking at all the reporting and the velocity numbers, you're even helping with marketing, right? It's a much more holistic approach that you get with We Grow CPG.
100%, 100%. Like, don't say that too loud, right? Because, like, our what you get with us is sales. But the extras are, like we have Helena on our team, Lukowski, like she is a marketing genius, right? And like, so like to be able to like have her like step in and she works with branding folks and marketing folks with our brands to help, like like her competitive analysis just alone will like you'll see one of our competitive analysis and be like, well, this is amazing. Like this is everything that we need. And we have a subscription to Spin, so we use that data to really drive, like what brands should do next as far as, what our competition's doing and how do we scale up. So yeah, you get that. Drew Dickey on our team. I mean, he's one of the founders of Taos Bakes, like he built a brand from the ground up with his buddies in Taos. Like they built their own manufacturing. So we're not going to let somebody stumble over operational issues if we can help them. Like, hey, look, there's like a crack in the concrete right there. Step over that bad boy. Don't fall in there. Like it doesn't benefit us. Everything that we do, we're trying to really like benefit the brand because in turn it's gonna benefit us on the sales side anyway. So
So
yeah.
true.
But don't tell everybody that we throw that stuff in because
What's the biggest lie in CPG, aka, what's something that founders believe about growth that you got to reset them on, or that it just isn't true?
yeah, man, and lie is such a dirty word.
Lie.
Yeah, why are you talking dirty to me, Duncan? But it's like, like I think like a big part, and maybe not lie, but like misinformed is like, folks are watching these other brands, right? They're watching them on LinkedIn and on social media, and they're like, wow, like that brand came out of nowhere. They've been around for, I've only heard about them right now. They must have only been around for 2 years and they're already all over the place. I want to grow like this brand. And they really don't know that, these brands have been around for 15, 20 years before you're starting to see them all over the place. Like we're seeing billboards and this and that. Well, it's like all that stuff cost a lot. And you do that for brand recognition when your product is found everywhere. So I feel like that is a big piece of it. I think I mean, out of the lie, it's like the big misunderstanding is like really understanding like how long it took these brands to get there
And there's a
and
lot
being
a
like you
lot
have
of
to be reasonable, right? Like if this is you have to come to reality and be okay, if it took this brand that I admire so much 20 years to get there, then maybe I'm not going to do it overnight, you know?
Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of sacrifice involved, right? I mean, you hear, Jason Burke from Neo Primal talking about all the sacrifice. I mean, everyone's like, oh my God, Jason, you're doing everything. You're blowing up. And it's like, no, it took Jason a long time to get there. And he's still super humble about it, I mean, even yesterday, David Delcourt, who does almost all his work in alternate marketing channels, so alternate distribution, you know, he lost a big account yesterday and he was devastated. It's like this shit happens. So now what about distribution versus velocity? A lot of brands chasing distribution like it's the end goal. What do you say to those situations?
It's tough. And like these are things that we have to like tread lightly on, right? Because these are people coming into the space, into CPG with maybe zero knowledge of the CPG space or a little bit of knowledge. And it's like a retailer shows them some excitement over their brand, some interest, and they are just like, yes, this is the best, right? I just came up with this product, and now this retailer in wherever that has 180, 190 stores wants to put us in all their stores, right? They just don't understand that, hey, like this retailer is used to spending, their consumers are used to buying 99-cent items, $1.99 items that, maybe have a benefit for them or maybe don't. And so when we're coming in with natural premium products, that are going to be, significantly higher than anything else on the shelf, that doesn't always make sense for that consumer. Not that, the consumer can't get there, but it's like, man, like we need to be strategic and build your brand in the premium natural channel. And I promise you that will roll down to the conventional folks. It will get there. You just need some time when your velocities are, kicking in some of the retailers that, like that we belong in, then it's like, okay, now let's go try some stuff and maybe a conventional retailer here or there. But again, it's like we have to try a different approach. You can't go put, your $5 soda next to a 99-cent soda. Like to that, like think of it from that consumer's lens, really not understanding, what the benefits are in your product to get them to be like, okay, I'm going to spend, 5 times the amount I usually spend on something. So, it's just like if you really need to find somebody who has that strategy and like retail knowledge to help make these decisions for you. So,
Totally. And I thought that maybe we should take a moment here because I gotta say cheers to everyone with my Nara.
a roasted oolong.
Drink
It's delicious.
roasted oolong milk tea, oat milk, 50 milligrams of caffeine, so not too much. Great for, it's almost 1:30 here. So drinknara.com, everyone. Victoria and Miguel Reyes doing a great job in bringing Filipino ingredients to the United. And they were Next Tea Award nominee too, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. They're doing a really good job. I mean, Miggy and Victoria are great founders. Really understand what it means to get in the trenches. Honestly, like all the founders we work with are willing to like lift their sleeves up and get into the trenches. And we talk to them about those things, and it's like, and like we're out here doing all those things, and we can make these decisions, but and you need to get out into stores and talk to people too. Understand, from your side and your lens, like what the consumer's thinking at the shelf, what the grocery managers are thinking. Like I remember I worked for this brand and our UPC code was under a flap, right? So you had to like lift the flap to scan it in the register. And we didn't realize that. Like we didn't, I mean, yeah, we're buying it or whatever, but us going to the store, lifting the flap or whatever. I mean, we're going there just to buy those products. But what we learned from doing some store visits were the checkers hated it. Like they hated our product, never tried it, but they hated it because as they're trying to get through the check stand, they got a line, but with our product, they have to like go in there, flip it up, and then scan it. And if you're buying multiples, then it's just like, man, they got to keep doing that and doing that. And so we learned that real quick that,
Wow, what an
they weren't
insight.
fans,
What an insight. What an
right?
insight.
You
That's
learn that at
really,
the shelf,
yeah, in-depth thinking. Now look, when something isn't moving, like let's be brutally honest. When something isn't moving, the simple answer, oh, it's this or it's that, right? Maybe the complicated answer is it's more than one thing, but really it's complexity, right? You have to really look at, is it the product? Is it who it's aimed at? Or maybe it's not aimed at the right people. Is it the marketing? Is it the strategy? As you just pointed out, is it even in the right retail location? Can the product and the audience find each other? How complex is that to analyze for you guys?
oh man, so it's so important, right? Like we have one brand who is in about 10,000 doors. And what I told him was like, man, we need to like we're in 10,000 stores. We're available to everybody. Now we need to spend to let everybody know we're there, right?
Mm,
But they get it. And so like I mean, they're crushing it on that side of the business, really driving a bunch of velocity to the brand. But it like before us having these conversations, they just really, didn't comprehend that piece. They were just like, or it wasn't that they didn't comprehend, they just didn't think of it, right? Because like we're like if you're starting, most entrepreneurs are, smart people. Like most of the people we work with, they're all, I mean, you're creating a product, putting it in retail, they're, they know a bunch, but they're just, little things that they didn't think about. And so but that's just one thing. We had another product where we were seeing a lot of voids, right? And we're like, what is going on? Why are we seeing these voids? Why can't they fill? And so we just started calling some stores asking, if the product was in there. And what we learned was, yeah, it's in there, but they have the product on the very bottom shelf, you know, single faced, not brand blocked with the rest of our items. It was just like stuff all over the place. It was just a weird schematic at, one of our retailers. And so then we're like, okay, this is an issue. I mean, honestly, like right now we're going through the strategy to fix this issue, but it's in others, it's like, yeah, we have eye placement. We spend, 30% trade last year and it didn't move the needle the way we need it to. So, we know the product tastes great, we're putting effort in marketing. Like, what is it with this product? And you have to we have to be able to go to our brand partners and be like, look, our package is not appealing to our consumer. So we
mm.
need to do some sort of consumer surveys or do something. And then, again, this where Helena jumps in and just starts, grabbing the spins data, grabbing examples, competitive surveys, and we start looking at different packaging and we're looking at all these amazing packaging. And then maybe ours is, it's great, but you're like, okay, is this like all these packages are appealing towards children and they're seeing growth. Ours is appealing towards, like a premium adult consumer. Do we need, like, how do we flip this around? And most of the time, we bring these things to our brand partners and they're like, yeah, like yeah, you're right. Or, like our competitive survey shows that we're priced $2, $3 more than everybody else, with a comparable package, comparable size. And so we need to make some pivots internally to bring our prices down. And it's like, it's things like, changing it from a 10-ounce pack to an 8-ounce pack, right? Everything else stays the same. It's just you're taking a couple ounces off and then we're able to drop that thing by a couple bucks and then you're line priced or better with your competition, and then you start seeing some movement and like, okay, that was it. We were just priced out. So it's really trying to do as much as you can, much data analytics as you can to find what is going on
It's
with your
amazing.
program. So
So, I mean, because it kind of leads me into this next conversation, which is I think retailer expectations have evolved, right? So we see people on LinkedIn, for example, oh my God, I got on the shelf, right? But the untalked about side of that story is someone else got thrown off the shelf, right? And so what are you seeing with kind of retailers and how they, how they're what kind of pressure are they putting on new brands?
yeah, like what I am seeing, like, I've been in this industry for a long time. I don't want to throw a date out there because then, I'm not trying to, I want my age to still people, it to be a mystery to some, right? But I've been in this industry. I started when I was 13, so I've been in the industry about 25 years, right? So, but what I am seeing is like there's a really like a big evolution change for retailers, and discovery is like change. Like, startup CPG does a really good job at these grocery runs and a lot of things to like bring new items to the eye of the retailer, right? There's a few out there. Naturally Network is doing some really cool things to like bring in retailers. So like there's a lot more events that are bringing new brands to the retailer's eye. So I think that piece is really cool. But at the end of the day, like a retailer could fall in love with your product, but they easily can fall out of love with it. And that's the piece that founders really need to understand. It's like, oh, they love me. But if they love you, like when somebody loves you, you need to love them back and take care of them back.
Yes.
Otherwise, that love is gonna fade,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's the velocity piece. If you're not doing everything you can't just be like, they love me. I'm gonna go focus on, these other retailers to get them to love me, and you're just gonna ignore the retailer who's like all in on your product. You need to get in there. You need to spend to drive velocity, to drive trial, to do everything you can, because you have to think that this retailer is taking something off the shelf for you.
Yes.
And their job is to grow sales. So they're bringing your product on their shelf. They need to hit numbers, right? And their leadership is, relying on them to make these decisions. So if you're not doing everything that you can to drive trial and increase sales, you're not showing that love back to that retailer who's taking a chance on you. So like that piece, it's like, man, if someone's going to take a chance on you, you need to put all your efforts in to at least show them, like, if down the street it doesn't work out and their boss comes to them, you can be like, hey, look, they can go to their boss and be like, look, I brought this product in. I thought it was a trend. We spent on this ad, this display. They had, quarterly promotions or more. We did everything that we could do to set this brand up for success. It just didn't work, right? And at least on their side and their leadership side is like, okay, like really appreciate that. You did everything that you could, but now it's time to, give that space up to another, you have to break up with that brand and bring in another one that may work. So
Okay, you ready for rapid fire round?
let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a question, you answer in
Stay
one.
ready, Duncan. I stay ready.
You're just gonna give one or two lines as your answer, or you can even pass if you don't want. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Where are brands burning cash right now where they don't see results?
Oh, this all right. This is rapid fire. Can
Yes,
we
yes.
can I move this? All right, pass.
Okay, pass. Okay.
No. Um, I- yeah, it's actually not a rapid fire one. I'm gonna have to think about that one a little bit longer. So
Okay, we'll come back to that one.
yeah, let's come back.
What's actually working? If you like strip all the layers away, what are some things that consistently drive growth and velocity?
Merchandising.
Merchandising. Got it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Merchandisers grow brands. They just
What?
do, internally, externally, obviously your best one is if you can have an internal merchandiser, they're going to drive growth, but that field sales team can affect your sales more than um, a lot of folks on your team. So.
So it's everything from like displaying, pricing, promoting the product, right? Visual merchandising, where it's placed, how the shelf is managed, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, like 101, if you see a product you like on the shelf, if there's no price tag, are you going to buy it?
No.
Yeah. Like I want to get up there and be like, oh, this is 20 bucks. I'm like, oh, put it back. Um, I mean, that's 101. And sometimes there's price discrepancies at the shelf that you may not know. Your product may be $2, and for some reason, somebody in the system when entering it maybe added a zero. And so you go in there and you find out that your product's scanning for 20 bucks and it should be $2. Like that stuff is found at the shelf. And then from there, it's like the incremental piece, like getting displays and stuff like that. Really, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. What's dead that people won't let go of?
Mm, a good one. What
Okay,
is
we can
the
agree that billboards for small brands don't work. We had a former client that was determined to do billboards, and we were like, we are not taking part in this. If you're
Yeah.
tiny, we're not taking part in this.
Yeah, there's only like maybe twice that I've ever recommended a billboard, and it wasn't to like drive trial. It was like outside of a retailer's office window. I'm like, oh, I caught that billboard right there. Let's get a billboard and just like flash it at them. But um, I, that's also a tricky one.
Like let's ask Helena if
Yeah.
she was in the room right now. What do you think Helena would say? Social media, are people, I mean, that's, one of the things we do. Are brands approaching that correctly, or are they leaving something on the table, or is it just dependent on the brand?
I do think that they're leaving a lot on the table. I don't think people are using social media the way that they should. I feel like, man, like you should spend as much time working on your social media as you do scrolling social media. Like if you're scrolling it all
Amen.
day, yeah.
Amen. That's a shirt from David Mesa right there. That's a shirt.
Hey, ba
Oh, that's a
I
good one.
got,
Okay, I'm gonna keep you moving. Emerging brands. Is this a good time to launch? A terrible time to launch?
like it depends on the category. So, is it a good time to launch another water? Maybe not. There's like 100 million waters on the shelf. Not knocking any water or people thinking about launching a water. That all. I mean, you see it often, like people hitting the trends at the right exact time, right? You're just like, wow, that's a way. And those are the brands that grow that literally blow up overnight. Is because they just hit it at the right time. They just did it at the right time. Folks, like you think about kombucha, right? Like there was a lot of kombucha brands around before like
30 years ago.
GTs. Yeah, and
Exactly.
these brands, and
Exactly.
they were trying and trying and trying, and then boom, you know. I think Lindsay Lohan got a DUI and blamed it on kombucha, and then all of a sudden kombucha was people understood what it was. I don't know if
Oh,
you remember that.
oh, David, this is a first. This is a first. We're getting a call right now. Ring, 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 ring. Hello? Hello? Is this the right time to launch a Dubai chocolate brand? What do you say to the caller?
100%. Yes, do it.
Okay, don't launch any Dubai chocolate right now. And so, look, you've worked in the industry. The people on your team have been brand managers and product managers. If you had to simplify it, where should founders be spending their time and energy?
Yeah, I mean that is a good one also. So, um, like honestly, like I mean, it depends on the size, right? Like if you're a new emerging brand, and let's say you launched in a retailer in your area, like your time should be spent on really like getting in there, demoing and listening to the consumer, like finding out as much as you can from the consumer. Like as much as you love something and you love your packaging or you love whatever, like the consumer doesn't lie. Maybe you go and a lot of times founders will go into demos telling everybody there they're the founder. And right, so like everybody at the demo is like, oh my God, this is delicious. This is the most wonderful thing because no one ever wants to hurt anybody's feelings. But maybe you need to go into a demo saying that you're just a demo person Like I just do demos for people. Like, t give me the insight on what do you think of this brand. Then a consumer can be like, okay, well, what I really don't like is XYZ. And then listen, like if everybody's telling you your product doesn't taste good, probably doesn't taste good. And consumers want things that taste as much as they say they want, zero sugar, zero carbs, all these things they want, if it doesn't taste good, it's going to be really like the people who buy products for the benefit and not the taste is a very small amount, right? My wife is one of them. She buys like she's like, "Ooh, this has this," and she's willing to like force it down. Like that's her personality. That's how she is. That's how she always has been. That's why she's the greatest taste tester for me. Like I'm like, "Hey, does this product work?" And she'll look at the ingredients
Well,
and
and
go,
she has good taste in men too. Let's give her the credit.
hey, I mean, I was gonna throw that in as like, like I mean, look she picked me, so it's not the taste, it's the benefit. I don't know what it is. I'm 6'2". Maybe she wanted tall kids.
Six
I'm not sure.
two, 6'2". I mean, look, I mean, it's not easy, right? And I think that that's the piece that we can't overemphasize is, it's like, hey, should I launch this brand? No, don't launch it. If you're still asking that question after you talk to 100 people, then consider launching it, right? And then even then,
Yeah,
maybe it's a city play, maybe it's a regional play,
100%. And like, here's one thing that I do see often, um, is, there's a lot of these events. The events that I said are really good, that are going on, a lot of founder events, a lot of events that introduce products to people and whatnot. I try to go to as many as I can here in Austin, but a lot of times what I see there is like everybody, like if it's, a founder event or something, everybody is trying to make each other feel good, with their answers. Oh, this is great. And I'm like, oh, it's great. They're like, oh yeah, this is so great. And I'm standing there and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I pick it up and I want to spit it out, like I'm like, you like this? Like maybe it's my palate that's wrong, but it's like you can see things on packages that are like, ooh, there's and I sit there and I listen and I just hear a lot of times people just pumping up everybody, and like, real friends should be able to tell people the truth, and like, and that's what these events should be. They should be for founders telling founders or industry experts, retailers being able to tell these founders like, hey, like, here's a couple of opportunity things that I think you should, instead of just being like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. Your packaging is great, boom, boom, boom. And then these people are spending their life savings trying to launch a product that you know, uh, most consumers probably aren't into, and so that part's difficult,
it
I try
is.
to do that as much as I can when I go to these events, um, give founders as much, advice as I can, although, my advice isn't always right, but, like I'm just, from my experience, I'm going to give them the knowledge that I can, and so if they take it, cool. If they don't, you know.
Hey man, that's I love the truth of it all. Now I gotta ask you, what is going on with David? What is David listening to in his streaming service right now?
Oh man. So, I mean, and we talked about this, you know this about me. I'm a Pacific Islander, right? I'm from Guam. So I was in the womb listening to Bob Marley, right? And reggae music, And so reggae is it's my number one. There's actually a reggae festival coming up here in Austin next weekend that, we got tickets to. We do a lot. Like go to Newtopia. The Reggae on the Rocks is always happening, so I always get to go to Red Rocks and see some really cool reggae bands. But yeah, I mean, like my music is very urban. It's like reggae, R&B, and hip hop. Like that's my jam. But as long as there's something playing in the background, I'm pretty good. So
At the
I'm
risk
not
of being
gonna.
at the risk of being very controversial, which has never scared me, is Kanye back or not?
It's it's better than his last album, I think. Like it's a lot less, like, um, I, dude. did Kanye ever leave? Like I feel like Kanye is all
Maybe,
like
maybe not, you know.
he's amazing. And you know what? Oh, okay. You want to know what's in my playlist, right? And don't tell anybody. All right. No one's gonna see this, right?
No one's gonna see this.
But like I'm not a country music fan, right? I'm not like that's not my jam. But that Ella Langley choosing Texas song. I can't stop. Someone puts it on and I'm over there trying to two-step. I don't even know how, but
Now let me ask you, when it comes to old school hip and hop, what's wrong with you, Duncan? Stop laughing, Lauren.
hippity hoppity,
Hippity hop, there's an
these
English guy,
whippersnappers.
an English guy that said to me, "Do you like listening to that hippity hop?" It's like, okay, okay, but I've been listening to some Brand Nubian. I've been listening
Oh
to,
yeah.
remember, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. What you
Yeah.
gonna do? It's going, and then, so much of that stuff, man. The old stuff. Heather B, all Glocks down. Come on,
Hey, let's go.
they were not, they were
You've
not, they
been
were,
taking it back.
they were not major hits, but yeah. So you're
Yeah,
having fun.
Tribe Called Quest. I mean, you're bringing
Oh,
back some really, really cool stuff right now. Yeah,
okay.
I'm always like funk. I mean, honestly, like anything that has like a cool beat rhythm. If I
Man,
can dance to it, I'm into
yes, exactly. And that has to be something that happens for the David Duncan, friendship at some point, maybe at Newtopia. There's going to be some dancing that goes
it.
on. We're going to
Eh,
be get
yeah.
up, stand up. Uh, okay,
Anybody who's seen me at like a UNFI party or any kind of like things, they're just like, oh yeah, Dave is that dude that's out there dancing on the dance floor by himself. Like
but
life is short. I want to have fun all the time. I'm gonna dance if you want to dance with me or not. Let's go. You know?
I mean, okay. Speaking of tribe, man, like Q-Tip just continues to do great things, man. So
Oh
now,
yeah.
okay, name the artist. SADDIQ.
Oh, Sadiq?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Like, come on. Yeah, Raphael. Like,
Oh
yeah.
man, what? But see, this is
He
why
wrote a lot of songs for people. Like people don't know how much influence he's had in the industry. Yeah.
and I'm sure that our mutual friend who is listening in live, Lauren Johnson, has listened to some Tony Tone.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Yeah. Like those are yeah. I have a really cool on my Sonos playlist or my Spotify playlist. I have a really cool like old school like R&B that's like right in there, you know, Anthony Hamilton stuff like that, like that
oh,
that I really dig and but I like the new stuff too. I really do like
okay, I got an
her,
idea.
Kalani, stuff like that.
Let's do a David and Duncan playlist together. And
Let's
then
do it.
we'll release it. See, this is why I like having you back, man. I mean, everyone, David Mesa, he's in it every day. He's not sugarcoating it. If you're building in CPG, he's going to bring the kind of clarity you need. And he might sugarcoat it, but chances are he won't. He can deliver bad news really well. And if you're growing or you want to grow, you got to check out We Grow CPG, because if you're serious about growth, that's a team you already heard. They're holistically approaching it: sales, marketing, financial analysis, velocity. And if you want to connect storytelling to velocity, not just content for the sake of content, Firebelly Marketing's got your back. David, thank you so much for coming back today. How do we have fun? And we're just talking work.
Hey, I do want to mention something, like we're not just like working with emerging brands. So we also work with legacy brands, stuff like that. So like maybe they're just been having some issues with like strategy and different partners that they're working with. We have a couple that have been around for quite some time that, like we're like sort of just helping them rebuild and stuff like that, advising on where to go. I mean, you jump on a call with us and you essentially have, three heads of sales on your call. So that's what really
Awesome.
makes us different,
That's one of
so
the things that you were telling me at Expo is, yes, you help emerging brands out, but you also help small brands get to medium, and you're helping a lot of medium-sized brands out too. So,
yeah, I mean we have, brands that are, doing 10 million rev and up and, brands that are much smaller, brands that came to us in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue that are down now doing big number revenue. So yeah, all sizes. It really has to be a differentiator, a category disruptor for us. Like, again, we've been able to like build some sort of reputation with some of our retail partners. So we want to make sure when we're bringing them stuff, it's like, ooh, this is cool. This is
David,
cool.
thank you so much for coming on the show, my man. Always appreciate you being here. You always keep it real. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you on the next one.
Hey.
Hey!
Thanks for listening to the Firebelly Social Show. We'll see you again next time, and be sure to click subscribe to get future episodes.